Okay, we are back playing some more God of War Ragnarok. I got so excited last time, man. I cannot believe. I mean, like, it could be, it could be a stretch. But come on, like the mask. I mean, seriously, like, it's kind of like, am I reaching? Please tell me if I'm reaching or not, because like it just feels so. I don't know. It just feels so like, oh, like with the movie and like where the mask, the little hint where the mask came from, it's just like, it's just like, I mean, it's kind of obvious. At least somebody in the developers thought it was like a neat idea to throw in something like a mask that Loki has to decipher, and it glows green like that with etchings on it. Albeit the etchings are on the outside while in the movie it was on the inside, but it was like, come on. But man, I tell you, I'm happy. I am really happy. Hacking on that silver. Here.
Hey, you're back. How was it? Did Father behave himself?
Yeah, I mean, better than I would have expected, I guess.
Is that the sword from Grandfather's study?
Oh yeah, her name's Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid. Wow, All-Father must really trust you. Well, glad you survived your first day.
Hey, me too.
Tomorrow, we talk about Valkyries.
Definitely.
I love her hair. Kind of like a lion's mane kind of thing going on. Did not notice this last time.
Did you think that I would be?
Well, it's pretty good soup.
I'm not angry. I'm concerned. You know that's not what I want for her.
You don't want her to have a sword.
But it's not about having a sword. It's about what you use it for. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. And I don't want that for her either, okay? You don't have to worry. She's a smart girl. Smarter than her father.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
Well, this has been a weird day. Exactly.
Wonder how I wonder how the development of Thor will turn out by the end of this. I'm way too curious, and we still got more to go in the story. I mean, like I said, not since the Spider-Man PS4 game, I love a game this much through and through. And Miles Morales as well, but I kind of lumped that together with Spider-Man. It's like, wow, this is like very well done, man. And I mean, I like the previous game pretty good.
Equipped. What needs work?
I like the previous game pretty good, but man, this was a huge step up. Massively. Still wish I had like a kid Loki costume though.
Good morning, brother. No news, I'm afraid.
I have a plan.
Do you now?
The Norns. You found them once. Could you do so again?
I could try, but I don't see how that would
They
help.
are the fates of these lands, are they not? I would know what they know,
You may not find them cooperative.
as long as I find them. Where do we search?
Midgard. But if Atreus is in Asgard, there's no getting him back without an army. We should be raising one.
Yes, nothing like a catastrophic war to improve the situation. The boy seems quite capable. Perhaps if you simply give him some time.
You are not free of blame here. You encouraged his foolishness, his confusion. I do not seek war. But if Odin has stolen my son, do not doubt the lengths I will go to.
Your nature has always been clear, Kratos. But you, Freya. War is a first resort. That's not the Freya I knew. I hope the Norns can give you the counsel you need. Perhaps mine is no longer of use here.
Tyr, stop. This is no time to divide ourselves further. Come, sit, please.
You have been quiet.
Frankly, I'm surprised you, of all people, would seek out fate. But your instincts haven't let us down so far. Let's find the Norns.
The word of fate. Yeah, I mean, you fight the Sisters of Fate. I think God of War 2. I'm pretty sure it was God of War 2. Because I haven't played like only played God of War 3, 2018 reboot, and then this one. But yeah, I mean, I seen the walkthroughs and I know those stories, so I know he took down those fates. But every pantheon has some form of the Sisters of Fate in some iteration or another. In some cases, they're all one and the same, just in different civilizations. They're depicted in different ways and pictures. And in some, I mean, some people might theorize that, like Lucifer in Greek mythology might be seen as Lord Hades, while in Christian we'll know him just straight up as Lucifer, Morningstar. So some iterations, some people think of that way.
Offer him counsel. I only hoped to help the boy find his answers, and I failed. What's my role in all this now?
Tyr, you're at the center of this. You always have been. That's why Odin imprisoned you in the first place. He's terrified of you.
I doubt that very much.
It's the truth. And not just because of prophecies. No one has ever united the realms as you once did.
That is not who I am anymore.
I know you feel that way now. I've lost myself before. More than once, but believe me, there is something beyond that.
And what is that?
Purpose. Purpose is the path that leads you to yourself.
So you would have me accept my fate? Lead your armies into war, secure your vengeance.
If securing our justice is not your purpose, then find another. For your own sake.
Let's see, I got skills.
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you go traipsing off into the dawn, I thought you'd like to have this back. Well, don't go getting too cheery about it. But you're welcome.
I've collected what we need to find the Norns. Shall we go?
Okay. I need that counter. That's what I always try to do.
Neathog. I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Squirrel.
Ah, Master Kratos, my apologies. Madame Neathog's disappearance weighs heavily on my mind.
She a friend of yours?
Less a friend than another longtime tenant of the tree. She was here even before I arrived, and that was ages ago. To even think something could keep her away from her babies. Terrible, just terrible.
Uh-oh. Should you tell him or I should? 'Cause and I know that was that thing that's at the bottom of the tree. Yeah, because I guess what's his name? Odin straight up like took that thing and abused it.
We are certain Atreus could not still be in Midgard.
I was just there and found no trace. If Odin invited him, he must have provided a way.
No, that is not the only explanation. Tell me where we find these Norns.
I discovered some of their threads near the frozen lake. I stashed one for spellcrafting, but we may also use it to find them. Just remember, they really don't want to be found.
Well, at least things will be difficult for a change.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
Midgard. How I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Oh, that's because they believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
From me, of course.
Of course.
Come.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Freya.
Quiet! She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns, we'll just need to follow their lead.
I will open the gate. Stop whining.
Their fur is matted. When did you last brush them?
They are wolves.
And matted fur leads to disease. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Brother, what exactly do you intend to ask the Norns?
How I may find my son.
You don't imagine it's a chance to clear up all this mess about prophecy? Perhaps get a second opinion on your alleged demise.
You didn't tell me you had a death prophecy?
When Atreus and I reached Jotunheim, we found a hidden mural. The Giants, Faye herself, had foreseen our entire journey long ago. Who we would meet, who we would fight. All of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
Then maybe it's not the future that bothers you. Faye sent you on your journey, and she made sure you'd see that image at the end of it. And you're still not sure why.
I wish to speak of this no further. Now that we are on the lake, how will we find the Norns?
Watch the wolves closely. See how their heads point the way?
Well, the Lake of Nine has certainly seen better days. Raiders have made themselves quite at home. Not sure I've been back to these parts since our great battle with Sigrun.
She speaks highly of that fight as well.
You know of that.
She told me all about it when she found me. She believed you could be an ally. Long before I believed it.
The Valkyrie Queen. An ally.
I'm the Valkyrie Queen. As Sigrun was stubbornly determined to remind me.
I should have guessed it was Sigrun helping you recover yourself. She's so loyal. Aye. Clever. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't take a love goddess to see where you're coming from.
Death can have me when it earns me.
This is the right area, but we can't go further on the sled.
Quiet.
I just hope the Norns are somewhere indoors and warm. Safe to say, no, I have not missed Midgard in Fimbulwinter. Thank you.
We will see soon enough.
Watch the fire!
Enemy! To your left!
Find you, watch out! Fire behind you!
The way forward is magically sealed. Something in here is giving it power.
The hilt of a sword.
Brother, I know that sword hilt. Tread carefully. You of all people know how weapons can carry ghosts.
If it does not help us find the Norns, it can wait.
I feel a trace of their illusions here. I can try to dispel it. Open.
Dead end.
There's nothing here.
A false trail.
I'm afraid so. We'll have to see what else the wolves can find.
Typical Nornish mischief.
They know we're searching. I warned you they wouldn't make it easy.
And what's the hilt of a cursed king have to do with any of it?
Distraction? Coincidence? Who knows? I suppose they'd say we were fated to find it.
This thread of fate we are tracing.
It's not somebody's life, if that's what you mean. The Norns use it to mark their way when they're outside of the well.
Hold that thought. It's about to get violent. Do not fire, Kratos. It will pass. Brother, get up! Brother!
I gotta remember next time I get those resurrection stones, get the upgraded one.
More bloody draughter. Nasty hit! You all right, brother? You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Damn it. Damn it.
Can't do this without you, Kratos!
More bloody draughter. Nasty hit! You all right, brother? You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
Switching!
Damn it. Son of a bitch.
More bloody Joker.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Switching!
Brother, get up!
Ah.
More bloody Joker.
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
Changing arrows!
Come on, Kratos! Off your back!
Ah, I got so close last time. Thing want to explode right in that second.
More bloody Joker.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Careful!
Son of a bitch! I know I blocked that. I know damn well I blocked that.
You're bloody brother. Nasty hit! Go right for that!
Changing arrow! Changing arrows! Switching!
Finally.
Whatever.
Reminds me of tales of a cruel empress, one too angry to die.
We will see.
Oh, good. I still got my
The Norns
resurrection.
in a well.
No. The Well of Earth, their home is hard to explain. It's in no fixed place. Entrances come and go. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes tangible. Like being inside your own mind.
But if we go in together, are we in each other's mind? Not so sure I like the sound of that.
Gotcha.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns?
Personally. Freya's right. They have ways of discouraging visitation. Odin made his share of efforts. Wouldn't talk about what he found. Either he gave up, or he wanted to forget what he saw. Freya, you mind telling us what you experienced when you sought the Norns last time?
To be honest, the details are hazy. Like waking up from a dream. Mainly, I remember that nothing could be done to change my son's fate, which only made me more determined to try.
Brother, what of your story? You faced the fates of your homeland, yeah? The legends I heard about the ghost of Sparta were surely exaggerated.
Exaggerated?
Oh, not in the brazen bloodshed righteous fury part. The part where it said you traveled back in time itself to win a battle once lost. It's strange credulity, obviously. I mean, a rumor about Thor knocking the world serpent back in history from Ragnarok is one thing.
It is the truth. The threads of fate span all life and time. The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic, nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Ah, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience.
This is the area.
It's cool. It's cool that like Kratos is giving them the tales of his history. It's like Norse meets Greek, and I'm loving that.
Coming from this wall, the Norns are hiding something.
It's kind of like when I'm watching an episode of like Delia's Warrior, which I highly recommend, by the way. You can find it on Amazon Prime. But it's honestly like, you know, seeing different warriors that never have met in history, like, you know, it just like, you know, seem like one of the creators behind this were had like a little, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the Talking Dead, but they did for like Delia's Warrior back in the day. And after there's one episode, Delia's Warrior Aftermath, by the way, is what it's called. One of the questions, you know, given to by like one of the fans was about, I forgot what it was about, but he was describing like the episode of the Spartan versus the ninja. And like during the reenactment, he was like, everybody was like dead silent in the shooting of the reenactment, and it was like, oh my god, there's a ninja fighting a Spartan. This is like, it's not something you see every day. Even though it was a reenactment, it's not something you expect to see, and in a way you are blown away. So hearing like a group of Norsemen hearing tales from a Greek person about his life in Greece and the pantheon he dealt with, it's all surreal.
Open,
as I'm assuming.
Nothing. Another dead end.
A trap!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Right flank!
didn't even bother to mention about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fantastic.
That's all of them.
A cousin of the flame Grognar, these beasts have opted to utilize ice in their attacks rather than their hot-headed relatives.
You know, this search will only get more dangerous.
Then we keep looking.
Back to the wolves, then.
What is up here?
I don't feel anything. It's not related to the Norns.
Could be interesting enough in its own right.
What's that outpost?
Ragnarok is coming. You're gonna need to stock up. Luckily, I'm offering new items.
Appreciate it.
How can I help?
Hey. Hmm. I think this is more useful.
A Vanir crest? Quite the prize.
Let's sell
Happy
this.
to lighten your load.
There you go.
Oh, got time to chat?
How you get all these other things unbroken? Uh,
You won't believe it, Mimir. This crest belongs to Fjotorlund.
Fjotorlund, you say? Now that's where Sigrun was from.
Sigrun's curse. Let's check it out for a moment.
Another crane.
Need to drop it. Oh no, I don't.
Come on, brother! Arrows will help you!
Another sleeping troll, courtesy of the dwarves.
Okay, Blodgerstein. Gotta get over that way to get that bird.
So this outpost is what's left of Fjortulund. Sigrun spoke of growing up with these people before she joined the Valkyries. You're free, little one.
It's supposed to be like the ghost of ravens or something.
There's frost in my neck, stop!
Hey, having to waste that.
Rita, left flank!
Behind you!
Incoming! Watch it!
I was expecting like
A musical instrument.
a monument. It's something for me to break.
Isn't it?
A lyre. A stringed instrument. A lyre, to be precise. Kratos says he knows how to play, but refuses to do so, which means he's either lying, possible, or determined to deprive me of a good time, also possible. So come to think of it, this is probably one of the few surviving artifacts from his homeland, plucking the lyre strings might well take his mind back to that place. That may well be a journey he's not yet ready to go on.
You play?
Yes.
Will you?
No.
Now, where have we seen an artifact like that before?
Tyr's vault.
I kind of want Faye and Kratos to hook up. I really do.
Ah, frozen! What now?
Good! That's the way!
You know, brother, Sigrun told me her kingdom housed a great treasury filled with the spoils of her family's conquests. Perhaps this outpost holds some of that treasure.
Is that all she told you, Mimir?
Did she say where?
No, just that they kept it hidden.
There we go.
Well done.
Why, thank you.
Perhaps those runes over there can shed some light. What? No, she never mentioned.
Accursed name. Woe to the great princess Sigrun. Her heart is broken and her mind may follow. She committed a sin for which there can be no redemption. She loved the wrong man. Handsome of face and congeal of smile. He was perfect, except for his name, King Helgi. Sigrun's father, King Hogni, would never approve of such a marriage for one simple reason. This was the name of his old enemy. So strong was Hogni's hatred of Helgi that he would never allow that man into his home. But Sigrun loved him still, and so she endeavored to convince her father that love could be stronger than hatred. She was mistaken. Can you imagine hating someone that much? On a heavy runic. Nice.
Is that a key?
Wonder what lock that key belongs to.
No lock. It is broken.
Not broken. It's just split in half. Perhaps we could find its partner.
Down you go.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Behind you, watch out! Nasty hit! You all right, brother?
Behind you! Incoming! Alpha!
Kill it! You all right? Behind you! Incoming!
Alpha!
Oh, that was close.
Mimir, what did those runes say?
Sigrun. She loved another. A king named Helgi. Seems they were madly in love. But her parents wouldn't let them marry.
Oh, come, Mimir. You really didn't think you were her first love, did you?
Aye. Suppose I did.
Shame about Tyr's vault. I'll take whatever you manage to salvage from it, though. If I don't have it, you don't need it. Ooh, a souvenir from foreign lands? Whatever you need, I'll create.
Dang.
That ought to hurt him. Anything for Freya? What'll it be?
Why not?
Anything more to discuss? Let's see.
The wolves have picked up another trail. Keep following their heads.
I play hide and seek with these Norns.
Kratos, tell me more of your homeland.
It was violent and cruel.
Sounds no different from these lands.
It was warmer.
Look, there's some debris over there. I'm guessing from Tyr's poor statue. This is the place.
Third time's the charm.
We need to work our way up. This way. Up there. There. Can you cut a way through the ice?
Oh, are the Norns making magical ice walls now?
No. I think the water just froze.
And the third one is up there somewhere. There's. Give me that. Green apple. now let's hack this sucker.
More of your friends.
I didn't tell them to be here.
Behind you, brother!
I don't know what the Norns did to trick all these raiders into guarding them. Not that they have any idea that's what they're doing.
Freya, thank you for your help. I know this was not your focus.
The sooner we find your son, the sooner you'll be able to focus. I just hope it works.
Just the same, thank you.
A fine sentiment, but write her a bloody note when we're out of the cold, brother.
Okay, I feel something. It's stronger this time. Over here.
Cryptic.
Where are you going, brother? Freya thinks she's found the Norns.
Right. God dang it. Maybe I can come back.
This way. Open up. We found it.
Ah, isn't it always the third place you look? Is everyone hearing that creepy whisper?
It is like an itch in the mind.
It means we've stepped into their domain. Be ready for anything.
Illusions.
Projections, possibly. But assume nothing. There's no telling what manner of creature they've made unwitting guards.
Delightful.
I can hear it right through my controller. So creepy.
Kratos, Ghost of Sparta, Bane of Olympus, Destroyer of Fate, Cruel Striker, Bringer of War, Weapon of the Gods, turned against his creators. He chases a redemption he knows he can never deserve. He cannot change.
Agenda lies flown in dust.
Yeah, I fought these things in the last game. They were not fun.
Are we in our own minds yet? He certainly seemed real enough.
I hate to tell you, the parts in your mind will be real too.
Seems he was guarding that way outside.
This place almost looks familiar, but different. Like a confused memory.
Rather hostile memory at that.
These fates should know I will not be deterred.
Getting all in our business, okay.
Mimir of the Aesir.
Ah, here we go.
Counselor to Kings. Merry Wanderer of the Woods.
of the good fellows.
Let me guess. I'm a long-winded know-it-all and I cannot change? Me? You forgot smartest man alive. Well, certainly clinks like genuine hack silver. I suppose there's one small consolation to this ordeal. At least we won't have to introduce ourselves.
Don't credit your reputation, Mimir. They see the whole lives of any who approach them.
What is that?
Phantom! Rogue magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell, look at that thing!
Now! Attack the rune!
Save yourself an opening! Don't wait!
Changing arrow!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
It's done! Switching arrows! Alpha!
Your shield, brother! Use it, yeah?
Now, attack! Alpha!
Attack!
Now, attack! Alpha!
Knock them down, quickly! Well,
Frost Phantom. While a single runic spring can leak enough magic to create wisp, multiple springs can summon something far deadlier. The chaotic power that these springs draw from can manifest into a creature that is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. As long as those runic springs remain intact, a fandom will continue to draw magic from them, fuel its continued existence.
Yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
The magic draining out of all of us has to end up somewhere.
Didn't think I was gonna make it. Didn't have any more resurrection stones.
This way.
Lift heavy things.
The Norns are somewhere in that cave just ahead.
There's that itchy sound again. Normally, I don't mind ladies whispering in my ear, but this is positively irksome.
Anyone ever tell you that you babble when you're terrified?
Terrified? I'll have you know I'm at the very most deeply apprehensive. And breaking tension with humor is the sacred duty of a traveling companion. How very dare you? Babbling.
There's like, you know, insects crawling inside my freaking controller right now.
The door.
Oh, that looks official.
My boy.
Feel everything.
Baldur, listen to me, please.
Stop! Why did you bring him here? You are not welcome here!
Wait! Baldur, come back! Talk to me!
I am so sick of your constant mess!
What you did to me!
You will not touch him! You will not harm him! Nobody harms my boy! But me! No!
Freya! Brother, over here! Come get me! I want none of this!
Mimir!
Seekerin? Brother, hold off!
Why did you never turn on Odin?
But I did! I tried to stop him any way I could!
You served Odin from the day you left to the day he put you in that tree! You sought favor, you wanted his war, you watched him mistreat everyone and everything, and you never gave a damn until you turned on you!
I know, Seekerin. It's true. All of it. But for love of you, I became a better man. A counselor for peace. An ally to all those who...
Were you an ally to Freya in her suffering? To Skadi? To Groa? Or to Tanya? No! You always took the side of the powerful men he used!
Brother, watch out! There's more of them!
Even now, you see a violent god in need and you can't help but hate him and call him brother! It's who you've always been! Who you are! And it's who you are!
It is not her.
No. Of course. You did what you must. Brother, the tree! It's pulling me in!
Mimir!
Brother, help me! Monster!
Atreus, I am coming.
What the hell?
Why didn't you trust your own son?
Don't let him take me!
Atreus!
Why can't you see him the way he wants to be seen?
I don't want to go back!
I'm trying to block that thing.
That's all I had to do. And now he's mine.
He's killing some family!
Atreus, I am here.
He's a bad dog! I'm not safe with this! Oh, Father, help me! He's a monster!
I think it's over. Did we pass the test?
Didn't feel much like succeeding.
I see the door has disappeared.
Or it was never there.
They toy with us still. What is that?
A Kelpie. Don't see many of those in these parts.
She must be theirs.
Will she take us to them?
I'll ask her. Nicely. Easy, girl. Easy. That's right. Good.
Oh, Kelpie.
Talk about whatever the Norns put you through?
No.
Get on.
That's a good lass. Lovely creatures, but temperamental by reputation. In my land, they'd keep children away from the lost by telling them a Kelpie would drown them. Of course, no Kelpie I know would do such a thing. Unless it was disrespected.
It walks on water.
Aye. No mystical water steeds to speak of in Greece, brother?
There were the hippocamps. They served the sea god. I battled one upon a titan.
That might not be her favorite subject.
Kelpie. Our search for the Norns led us to a mystical horse. Mimir called it a Kelpie. It walked upon the water, transformed, and then dove down beneath the surface, carrying us to the Norns' inner sanctum. I expect our departure to be no less unpleasant. May the Norns make this journey worthwhile.
We're here.
Fate's own hideaway. Never doubted we'd make it.
Under the sea. Under the sea. What is at the top of this thing?
Kratos, Freya, and Mimir's head. Enter the home of the Norns, tentatively. They have finally reached their destination. Kratos speaks first.
I seek my son.
You know the child is in Asgard. No, you seek what all who search for us seek. To know the ending to your story.
The ghost of Sparta furrows his brow menacingly. He resists the urge to grunt. Oh, he fails.
You come to us, piteous archetypes, seeking freedom from your scripts, as if knowing your lines would grant you the power to rewrite them.
Speak plain.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
But you called him the Destroyer of Fate. There must be a way to subvert destiny.
There is no destiny, Puck.
The protagonists are speechless. They do not understand.
There is no grand design, no script. Only the choices you make. That your choices are so predictable merely make us seem prescient.
When my son was born, shut up! Your prophecy said he would die a needless death.
And he did. Because you could not let him go. Because he thirsted for revenge. And because you kill gods.
But what Kratos did, it was not out of hate.
Should I bring him a crown then? He still slays gods, but now he's sad about it? You are the sum of your choices, nothing more. And because your choices never change, you will learn that Heimdall intends to kill your son in Asgard, and you will do what you do best. And then Ragnarok.
The skies burn, the curtains fall. Exunt omnes.
Heimdall.
Again, he misses the point.
Focusing on the second act to the exclusion of the final. A common mistake in storycraft.
We are leaving.
He stomps away, followed closely by Freya.
I enjoyed your story, Kratos. Pity it has to end so soon.
Norns, the fates of these realms. Their names are Uro, Veradi, and Skuld. I do not know how I know this. Their meddling inside my mind is already proven difficult to recall, yet an uneasy feeling remains. No matter, I remember learning Heimdall is a threat to my son. That is enough.
Well, that was educational.
Let us leave this place.
Happily.
That's better. I can feel things getting more normal already.
Wait. That tree.
Well, isn't that interesting?
What is this?
That's the noose, brother. The one Odin hanged himself with. As part of his endless, mad quest for secrets of life and death and what have you.
What are you doing?
It's a charged object, significant to Odin. Perhaps I'll find a use for it.
Brother, what they said about the boy?
Will not happen.
Oh, I agree.
It will not happen. We will not let it.
Of course we bloody won't. The question is how? You wouldn't seriously consider killing Heimdall, would you?
I will do what I must.
Oh, is that all?
You're wrong to dissuade him, Mimir. You know Heimdall.
I grant you that he's a spiteful, vicious little shit.
And so loyal, Odin entrusted him with Gjallarhorn. If we have the chance to eliminate him before Ragnarok, we shouldn't hesitate.
Considering his powers of foresight alone, that is an if of mountainous size.
I mean, It's like Heimdall. It's like, how you gonna fight Idris Elba?
Even supposing we're all perfectly comfortable plotting an assassination, and I, for one, am a mite rusty at that measure, we've got no way to reach Heimdall, and no way to kill him if we did.
I have killed gods greater than him.
I don't doubt that, brother, but it's hardly my point.
How can Freya walk around barefoot so much? I mean, yeah, I guess he's a god, so I guess it doesn't really bother her. Feel kind of weird.
Kratos, I see something.
Look, I think we're missing the Norns' message here. We've all got our tendencies, and yours is to run headlong into danger to protect the ones you love.
I do not intend to change. Not about that.
Why should you? Apparently my tendency is to kill the ones I love.
Freya.
I don't need you to convince me. Either of you.
Their accusation was cruel. None of us believe...
The truth can be a cruel thing. Anyone care to argue with that?
No. But Baldur's fate had many causes. Prophecy among them.
How do you mean, brother?
There are many tales in my homeland of those who fulfilled prophecy by attempting to avoid it. So it was when Freya tried to protect Baldur. And so it was when I accused my son of going to Asgard.
Then we agree. It'd be foolish to go after Heimdall.
No. If Heimdall must die for Atreus to live, then Heimdall must die.
How can you say that, knowing what you know?
Because if Heimdall is a threat to my son,
Hey. Much stronger.
Must act. It is my...
Your nature. Well played, Norns.
Word of Fate completed. Okay, let's get this loaded up. And Mina spent so much. Wasn't paying attention much with the expense.
Let us find a gateway. Return home. Consider our plans.
Listen, brother. Before you make any hasty decisions, why don't you blow off a little steam? I'm sure there was some loose end we meant to circle back to. Give your mind a little time to process everything.
I suspect there's unfinished business here at the lake, though I'm certainly happy to spend time somewhere other than Midgard.
It's your choice, brother.
I don't know. It's not really worth it.
Defend the peace.
I remember the Jotnar crafting these bracers for Tyr's statue. They chose only their most talented and accomplished to do the job.
You have a good memory, Freya. Like Tyr, the Jotnar also believe the best offensive strategy is a good defense. So, this is how they chose to honor him.
The Giants were not wrong.
Another gravestone. But this one's intact.
Aye, and with a keyhole tailor-made for the hilt we found. I was afraid of that.
The oarsmen. Ugh. A monument to conquerors.
Made some lovely warships, though.
We'll do this other puzzle before we end the video.
On your guard, Kratos!
Bastard. Can't get up there.
Mimir, look. Another Fjotalund marking.
Aye, this place must have been part of Sigrun's kingdom. A first outpost preceding further expansion.
On your left!
All these bones.
This is a tomb.
More silver.
There must be another way around. Looks like there's a staircase on the other side.
Oh, what I'm doing. Okay. I need to be up. I need my chains, but I gotta be on the opposite end. Okay, how the hell am I supposed to get to those other stairs?
Up there.
Oh.
Watch yourself.
Left side incoming! Righto!
That will be a huntress.
Watch yourself.
Watch your right.
I'm not very good with. I thought you probably improved on like being able to like dodge attacks, you know, or at least turn around quicker to respond.
Watch your right.
It feels cute, bro. Changing arrows.
Bastard.
Sad to see Sigrun's homeland in such a
When you see their antlers surge with energy, I already know that.
terrible state.
You know, Mimir, if you want to take a tour of her kingdom, you might not like everything you find.
So, she loved another before me. There are worse things to discover about someone you love.
Yes, there certainly are.
Oh.
There it is. The other staircase.
Come on, brother! Arrows will help you!
Look, the other half of the key.
Maybe those runes can give us a bit of history.
It can't be.
It is.
Oh, Mimir.
The death of Helgi. Ash to ash, bones to bones. Where love cannot live, death takes hold. Here are the words of Prince Dagir. My spear drips righteous and red from the blood of that cad, King Helgi. My father is in his wisdom denied him the hand of my sister, Prince Sigrin, knowing his true and dark nature. Enraged by this slight, King Helgi gathered his forces and invaded our land, determined to claim his bride. His murderous soldiers dipped their swords into the hearts of all who opposed their unclean union. Mother, father, all my brothers, hunted down and slaughtered, all because he was denied my fair sister. The only male of my line left standing, I impaled the villain Helgi on my spear, did my duty, and avenged my family.
Oh, an artifact from the River Empire. Never been myself, but I hear it's...
Ankh, a symbol representing the concept of life, comes from a land I long to visit. The civilization from which this artifact originates is said to be both ancient and technologically advanced. They worship half human, half animal gods who, from what I've heard, rule with wisdom and humility. That said, one should never trust gossip, especially not when it comes to gods. Oh, you got one Greek, now we got an Egyptian. There is a comic, detailing after the events of God of War 3, Kratos traveling, and he passed the Egyptian lands before he went to the Norse lands. So, not sure how canon is trying to be, because this game wasn't created at that time when that comic was released. I have said many times I want to review a God of War comic. Gotten around to it just yet, but I will.
I knew those key pieces would fit. Can't wait to see what lock it belongs to.
One. One, two. Buckle my shoe. Oh, there's the third one way over there. Oh, that will still count. I'll get it. There we go.
King Helgi massacred her family just because he couldn't have her. Only her brother, Prince Doga, survived to kill the Mad King.
Sigrid and her brother had issues over that.
Oh, and all the time Sigrid and I spent with each other. She never mentioned anything about this.
Maybe she liked the way you saw her.
Okay. Let's get to the vault.
Brother, about the oracles of your lands, would you say they manipulated events? Did they have an agenda?
I do not doubt they held their own interests first. But in my experience, they could be easily fooled by their own prophecies.
Would that be a specific experience, brother?
Once, I sought the Oracle for a means to break my bondage to Ares. One priestess had visions that showed her Olympus would be brought to ruin by the god of war. Therefore, she helped me, intending to undermine Ares and protect her realm. She did not foresee that I would kill him and take his office. In the end, I proved her vision of doom correct.
So the Oracle herself brought about the very future she hoped to avoid. I suppose we're in fine company at that.
How strange. I've never seen that building before.
Aye, very strange indeed. Let's take a closer look.
Want the tools for that yet?
Wait. The shield that's blocking the entrance. It looks exactly like the one from Tyr's statue.
It's another piece of Tyr's likeness sent flying across the lake. Ended up lodged right into this building, apparently. All this must have been hidden behind the ice until that shield smashed through it.
inside. But we can't reach it with the shield. Doesn't look like you can brute force it.
Okay.
Good, that's the way!
Look, over there. Could be useful.
God, where's that other those other two torches? Oh, okay. There's the other one.
Well done. Now we just need to open the gate. you'll have to get through the gate faster. Well done. Rude.
It was not intentional.
Oh, sure. My arrows can't go through walls, I'm afraid. Together again. Mimir, does this look like an abandoned treasury to you?
Aye, it does.
It's Sigrun's family crest. Looks like a vault door to me.
Now that we have both halves to that key, we should see if it matches that lock.
There you go. Open up. I have a decent amount of reviews to do tomorrow that can get into Evil West and Gotham Knights and so on.
Kratos! Alka!
Time to move!
Steady your guard!
Behind you, watch out!
Yeah. Trouble with this.
Impressive!
Oh no. Here sits Prince Dagger. I can't believe he's still here.
Prince Dagger? That the corpse of Sigrun's brother? How'd he end up like that then? Freya, why won't you answer me?
Are you certain you want to read this?
No, brother. You do it.
There was a love as passionate and sordid as the one that took root between fair Princess Sigrun and the foreign king Helgi. Helgi begged for her hand, but Sigrun's father, King Hogni, refused. And so Hogni raised a terrible army and descended upon her land, murdering all who opposed their union. King, queen, princess, all lay dead, all except for Sigrun's brave brother, Prince Dagger. Valiant Dagger took his spear and ran through mad King Helgi. When the princess discovered her lover dead by her brother's hand, rage blinded her, and she did inflict a curse on him most foul. But as her vision returned and she saw her entire family dead, she realized her mistake. It was too late. The curse on her brother had taken hold. From the depths of her grief came heartbreaking regret, and it overwhelmed her. In penance for her sins, she cast off her riches, title, and throne to dedicate her mind, body, and soul to the mighty Valkyries. A vow she did make to tuck her heart away, for her love was too dangerous.
It seems Sigrun put a curse on her brother for killing the Mad King.
No. Truly?
She did not know the Mad King had murdered her family. Once she did, it was too late. She had cursed her brother. That is why she joined the Valkyries. To atone.
You knew all about Sigrun's family, didn't you, Freya?
It was not my story to tell.
Funny. Man and all.
Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen, was the most lethal opponent Atreus and I faced in our prior adventures. Long ago, she was loved by Mimir, and clearly he remembers her warmly, but her utmost loyalty is to Freya, having aided her in restoring her warrior spirit and recovering her Valkyrie wings.
This only makes me love her more. She chose me despite my flaws, my regrets. Knowing she has some of her own makes me feel closer to her.
I am glad to hear it.
It'll be interesting to see Kratos and Atreus in the land of Christian mythology. I think that's like a decent way to like truly like end the entire franchise.
So, these are the Valine schematics, eh?
You know of him?
Aye. The most gifted dwarven smiths around. Until he developed a conscience, anyhow.
Okay, now let's get back and we'll end the video.
Now tell me of this power Heimdall wields. He sees the future.
More like he reads the person, sees their intention.
My intent will be to kill him. Knowing that will be no advantage.
Brother, this is no one to underestimate. Any move you make, he'll have seen it coming. If you must face him, we need something else. An edge. Humor me?
Very well. We will ask the dwarves.
Ah, the inevitable asking of the dwarves.
Excuse me, sir. Could I have a moment of your time? Oh dear, what's to be done?
What is it you want?
It has come to my attention that Nithog has been slain, and as a result, her offspring have been let loose into the Nine Realms.
What of it?
Unfortunately, without a proper role model to supervise them, the little rascals are certain to fall to mischief. In time, said mischief could culminate in nothing less than their devouring of the Nine Realms entirely. In order to avoid such a grisly fate, I'd like you to bring the Lindworms to me. I believe I can act as a satisfactory paternal figure in their upbringing. You'll find the specimens gnawing on pears throughout the realms. Use this device to safely store them, bring them back to me, and I promise I'll make it worth your while.
You mean to say you'd raise them by yourself?
Indeed. I have no small experience managing extreme personalities. Compared to wrestling with my emotions in the most literal of senses, I dare say raising a handful of Lindworms will be a walk in the park. Well then, what else, friends?
About Nithog. You should know. We had no choice. It was Odin's doing.
Oh, I am very well aware indeed of the alleged All-Father's role in this tragedy. Sadly, there's no expecting him to clean up after himself. Not all gods showed the interest that you do in righting past wrongs. I do hope you're able to locate those Lindworms. Good luck to you. Well, I mustn't keep you further from your goings-on.
You're back. They're back.
Simmer down. I see them.
At your service. What can I make for you?
Time to feed my plants.
Eh.
Huh. That might be my best piece yet today.
Very good.
Very good.
Gonna keep it spatter-free this time, right? Kratos? Wear it with pride. I'll disinfect my tools. Always a joy to work on these.
Not worth it.
And for the Valkyrie Queen? Hope it's to your liking. What do you need? I'll heat up the forge. Say one thing for Tyr, he's got taste.
Yeah, I knew that was eh. Eh. Increase the damage of all critters, range attacks, and on this. Go. Okay, now, what's the next thing?
I have news.
Oh, did the Norns tell you how to get Atreus back? Do we have a plan?
The Norns say Atreus will be killed by Heimdall. The plan is to kill Heimdall first.
Oh, wow. Okay, Heimdall. Let's see. Never loses, sees everything coming, unpopular at parties. This won't be easy.
Whatever his advantages, I will overwhelm him with my own.
That's the idea. You gotta overpopulate his senses, see? And I got just the thing in mind to help you do it. Sindri, go get Dropnir.
Dropnir? But we need it. Our supplies.
Oh, we got plenty. And to spare.
Even if we did, Dropnir's no weapon. Why would a... Oh. You mean we combine it with...
That's right.
And then when he... It'll go... Damn you, that's brilliant. Very well. I suppose there's nothing to do, but... Go fetch Dropnir.
I can't fathom what they have in mind, but if it's a weapon against Heimdall, we can use it.
Okay, I think it's a perfect spot to end here. It's almost 1 in the morning. 2.5 hours of this. This has been fun, man. Save. But yeah, I will definitely see you guys some point in the afternoon. Get some reviews going, wrap up November's Thanksgiving movie reviews. Check out the few that I did post it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/talkativecarl. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter and Twitch. Links are in the description. Yeah, do some reactions, a couple of reviews, because in another hour that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special will be posted on Disney Plus. Want to check that out. And we'll do a spoiler review later on that day. Normally I wait till Saturday, but it's like a special, so I'm not really gonna be tripping about it. Plus, I want to do another, at least add on to my Marvel Cinematic Universe ranking, because I only did up to partially of the early stages of Phase 4. Now I can just wrap up what's left of Phase 4 and add it on to what I already had up from Phase 1 through 3 into parts of 4. But anyway, I will see you guys later. And yeah, I will be streaming on Thanksgiving. I'm not going anywhere. I don't feel like traveling nowhere to visit anybody, luckily. So yeah, it's gonna be like a decent amount of time streaming for a while. So look forward to that. Anyway, take care.